হেৰি হৈ আছে দেই, মই তোমাক শ্বেয়াৰ কৰিছো। হেল্ল', ৰ'বা। চান্দি, মোৰ ভইচটো শুনিছা? ভিডিঅ' আহিছে? মোৰ ভইচটো শুনিছা? ভিডিঅ' আহিছে?
শুনিছো মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা শুনিছা?
অ'কে, ডান।
সুৰেশিখাক পঠোৱাচোন, মই লিংকটো পঠাই দিছো বাৰু।
তুমি লিংকটো পঠিয়াই দিয়া, মই এইখিনি হেৰি ইউটিউব লাইভ গৈ আছে খালি হা।
অ ঠিক আছে, এইটো লিংকে যাব হয় নাই চবকে?
আপুনি কল কৰি থকা ব্যক্তিজন অন্য এটা কলত ব্যস্ত হৈ আছে। আপুনি অপেক্ষা কৰক অথবা
বৰ ব্যস্ত। সুৰেশ কিবা, মই আপোনাক লিংকটো পঠাইছো হোৱাটছএপত, জইন কৰকচোন। হেল্ল',
Hello. Hello. Okay. Riyad Jumon. Hello. Hello.
Oh, video connecting.
Code disabled.
Hello. Participants, please switch off your camera and microphone during the session.
How much is needed?
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to say sorry due to the delay of webinar. There is some technical error in Google Meet. That's why we have to delay it. I went as a founder of Duration. I want to welcome you all for today's session. We are very honored and privileged to have Dr. Sailajananda Saikia sir as the speaker within a very short notice. We, the team Duration, is a very infant organization, has been initiated to provide various online and offline professional courses on remote sensing and GIS, and also handling some GIS related projects since 2020. I would like to take a minute of yours and request to visit our website duration.com and try to share in your peer groups. As we all of us know that World Environment 2021, the theme is ecosystem restoration. Now, in simple words, ecosystem restoration, we can say that is the process of assisting the recovery of an ecosystem that has been degraded, damaged, or destroyed, which are already damaged or destroyed. We have to recover that ecosystem. That is ecosystem restoration in simple words. Now, I would like to request one of our team member, Suryasikha Gogoi, to share the motto of this webinar and to continue with the agenda. I believe your presence with concentration will make you benefit a lot. Thank you. Suryasikha Ba. Suryasikha Ba.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Suryasikha Ba,
Huh?
you
Am I
can.
audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So just a minute. Good morning. So it's World Environment Day, right? I think it's a good day. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Welcome to this webinar of duration, and welcome to our program of World Environment Day. First of all, let me introduce myself. Myself, Suryasikha Gogoi, remote sensing analyst of duration. Okay, so actually, I want to share a few words with you about nature. Sorry, it's not too long. Just want to discuss with you all. So, as we know, this day focuses on environmental issues that our planet Earth is facing. What kind of thing? To raise the global awareness and the integration of nature to take positive environmental action. Okay, so we already know, it is a well-known fact, we took valuating until we lost it. Here from thing, I mean the trees and plants. So human beings and animals are wholly relied to on trees. Largest portion of our food comes from plants and trees, as we know, right? Yes, plants and trees, हम लोग को सब कुछ मिलता है, exactly like you can say corn, fruits, vegetables and species, so nuts and many other, they comes from tree only, right? They play a very important role in our lives, जो हमें बहुत कुछ देता है, so हम लोग को भूलना नहीं है. So I just want to share some pictures. First slide, just a minute. First slide. Yeah. Am I audible? Yeah. Plants and trees take care of us. Saying it wouldn't be erroneous that we are alive due to trees, a greatest blessings by God. Okay, already we know, हमें पता है ना, या हम लोग भूल गए हैं इसके बारे में. Yes, plants and trees take care of us. That is due to हम लोग जो भूल गए हैं, already हम लोग को भूल गए, जो हम लोग को remind कर रहे हैं. Plants and trees are considered to be the rescuers of the nature, right? And if we wouldn't save them, our next generation will have to pay for it, right? Okay, so एनवायरनमेंट को जरूरत है एनिमल्स और ह्यूमन बीइंग को जिंदा रखने के लिए हमें क्या करना है, एनवायरनमेंट का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट करना है, इंपॉर्टेंट समझ चाहिए. आई मीन टू से हमें इंपॉर्टेंट देना है. सो क्या करना है इसके लिए, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. सो टेक केयर ऑफ देम, जस्ट दे विल टेक केयर ऑफ. Study shows that having trees in our neighborhood will keep us away from many mental and physical diseases. Next slide. They will have a very stimulating impact, right? Okay, next slide. Yeah, actually trees are controllers of global warming, right? Global warming has become hot topic of the day. Earth's temperature is increasing day by day, which is triggering many issues, right? Regarding health and nature conservation, ecosystems, and many others. One of the major reasons of this issue is the cutting of trees. Okay, trees act as absorbers for dangerous ultraviolet and greenhouse gases. We already know they contribute a lot in reducing environmental temperature. So, by acting as natural air conditioners and a source of rain. So, consequently, to say that they are one of the major controllers of global warming, right? In short, we can say that what I can do is save trees now. They will save you in future. That's it. Okay. So, next slide. Acha, without plants, there will be no green left on globe. The bottom line is that when we damage the natural world, we damage ourselves, right? As we see on the Earth's globe, there are two prominent colors, that is blue and green. Okay, blue is due to water and green is due to greenery. A major part of our Earth's natural beauty is what? Due to plants and trees. Okay, speed with which are cutting trees and polluting the environment, there will be, no green left. Just imagine, okay? If there will be no plants and trees on earth, then क्या हो सकता है? What will happen? Just एक बार सोच के देखिए क्या हो सकता है, right? Okay. Environment's future. Okay, here I want to say is that we need to protect the environment for future generation. To secure the health of our planet on which all life depends, right? Nature feeds us, clothes us, quenches our thirst, generates our oxygen, shapes our culture and feeds, right? Protecting nature to to future को कैसे protect करना है. I mean, we often forget that how much human depends on nature, and we need air to breathe. This is water to drink and food to eat, right? All of us which are provided by nature, right? True. We can buy bottled water and ready to eat meals in supermarkets, but they were not produced here, right? Stop using such kind of things. Stop using plastics. Okay. And about water, actually, all drinking water ultimately comes from a natural source, right? I want to show you next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Since we still do not have technology to manufacture large amount of water in the laboratory, right? Just breathe. Yeah, just breathe. Okay. वैसे ही same applies to the air we breathe, which is purified and oxygenated by plants. Okay. So when we speak about preserving nature, we are really talking about preserving ourselves. Just breathe. Partnership between humans and nature, right? What does it mean? What does it mean? Acha. Yeah, this is the decade we take action for the planet, right? There is no time to waste. I mean, so क्या कर सकते हैं हम? As humans, what I can do is we must accept the responsibility for our ill behavior towards the mother nature, right? And change our way of thinking as well as what our way of life for the common good of all. Okay, this would be like the first and fundamental step to genuine partnership between humans and nature. Next slide. Yeah, save the planet. We must heard about develop the new sites and an inspiration on how to protect. कैसे protect कर सकते हैं हम our home by developing a deep understanding that by destroying environment we are destroying ourselves, right? So we should very well understand the fact that what we must not depend on mother nature to always protect us all the time. We must stop the insanity of environmental abuse and replace this with environmental integrity, right? This could be the decade we saved the planet. But yeah, we must follow the promises, policies and collaborative effort like needed to protect nature, protect the nature from collapse. Yeah, right. Here are 3 top ways we need to know. Next slide. हमें याद रखना है fix agriculture. Fix agriculture means produce more food on less land. Next slide. Eliminate overfishing means what? Stop overfishing. And ramp up clean energy means, next slide. At saving nature, our mission is to save vanishing ecosystem. Next slide. prevent biodiversity loss, and rescue communities from the environmental destruction. Okay, next slide. Pandemic. Yeah, हम लोग सुन रहे, face कर रहे, COVID-19 pandemic, Corona, right? So, as a result of a global pandemic, we are witnessing an upgradient all of to transform human society and economies, and thus reset the relationship between people and nature. Okay, so I am talking is turning point. Yeah, when we look back into years to come, I mean, I truly believe that 2020 was, despite the suffering it unleashed on all of us, right? Will be seen as a year, I mean, where we took a decision, the proper decision, and the turning point happened. Okay. Next slide. I believe that the only way forward is to invest in nature, and focus on a green recovery to prevent not just future pandemic, but as well as to prepare ourselves to fight ongoing environmental threats, okay, such as climate change and biodiversity collapse. Yeah, ecosystem. This is like, oh, yeah, there has never been a more urgent, I mean, need to restore what kind of thing that damage ecosystems than now, okay? Ecosystem supports all life on Earth, okay? The healthier our ecosystems are, the healthier the planet are and its people, okay? Next slide. The current pandemic has brought kya laya? Unimaginable devastation to people's life and livelihoods. Let's be clear. Yeah, let's be clear. What? I mean, human activities are at the root towards chaos. But that means human action can solve it, right? We can solve it, I mean. Next slide. Next slide. The recovery from the pandemic is it's an opportunity, right? It is an opportunity. We can see rays of hope in the form of vaccine. But there is no vaccine for the planet. Nature needs a bailout. Exactly. In overcoming the pandemic, we can also avert climate cataclysm and restore our planet. 2020 was supposed to have been a super year for nature, but the pandemic has had other plans for us. Now we must use 2021 to address our planet as much as we can do. Relationship, energy, nature, and art. Yeah, this is very important. Actually, what I can say is that the occasion of World Environment Day, I mean on 2020, WHO calls for a healthy and green recovery from COVID-19 that places the protection and restoration of nature central. Okay, so through our new strategy, we must respond to this challenge. I mean, knowledge but also education and culture, which is information to achieve a decisive change in humanity relationship with its environment. Next slide. take care of nature. Yeah, to take care of nature, we take care of ourselves. Together, we can build a world that is cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable today and for future generation. Okay. Next slide. If we do not act, the ecosystem on which we depend for our water, air, like food could collapse, right? So we must work together to prevent future global health crisis. We will be 2021 a defining year in our collective efforts, which is to save the planet. Yeah, I mean, save trees, save forest, save wildlife, save art. Choice is yours. Choice is yours in the sense. And again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I mean, after all, safeguarding the future living condition and preserving life on Earth, as we know, it is volunteer. The choice is yours to make. But I can assure this, what? You can negotiate with any other thing. And your children and grandchildren will hold you accountable for the choices that you make. Okay, so next slide. Yeah, greenery. To restore stability to our planet, we must restore its biodiversity. The very thing that we have removed, it's the only way of out this crisis we have created. That is what I can say is that. Next slide. We know what needs to be done, what works, and how we can achieve good results if we build on what has already been achieved and place biodiversity at the heart of all our policies and decisions, including COVID-19 recovery packages. Okay, we can ensure a better future for our societies and the planets. Okay. So, I mean, सबको environment की तरफ थोड़ा ध्यान देना चाहिए, including what I mean, students, teachers, journalists, socialist people, इन सभी को हमें बताना चाहिए, बात करना चाहिए और न्यूज़ को ऐसे फैलाना चाहिए ताकि क्या हो सकता है, इसके इम्पोर्टेंस सब समझ में आए सभी को. एंड एवरीवन शुड प्लांटेड इट, आई मीन प्लांटेशन करे सभी. ओके, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तभी ग्रीनरी जिंदा हो सकता है. ग्रीनरी सेव करने के लिए हमें यही करना है. ओके, so solution. Next slide. Solution कोई बता सकता है? Okay. Yeah, together. Actually, we truly do have power to build a future in which nature and people can thrive together. Okay? Yeah. So first one is like use your voice. Yeah, this is very important. As a cue, we are the first generation to know we are destroying the world, right? So, and we could be the last that can do anything about it. Okay, talk to your MP. I mean, tell them to commit to action. to protect our natural world. Okay, use social media. Okay, this is one of the most effective ways to get brands to listen to your voice. So tell them, yeah, that you want to change. Exactly. It's not just about speaking to the people in charge. Also, you can talk to your friends, neighbors, and colleagues, right? And get them to make positive changes too. Speak up. Speak to everyone and make your voice heard. Okay. Next slide. Yeah. Be political. Most important one, right? Be political. In the sense, being politically engaged is not limited to voting. And it certainly isn't limited by how young you are. Okay. Every year, more and more young people are working together to show our political leaders that they want change. One of the main things I am taking away from the election result was what? The voice of the young. Actually, I don't necessarily mean under 25s. It looks like the under 45 sang the vote. The young clearly wants change, and I still feel I am in that bracket. So I challenge the government to show us that it is not just the next 5 years that matters, but the future of those first time and second time voters, the future of our children, the future of our planet. We need to ensure we hold our politician accountable. Okay, you can do that by contacting your local MP and or attending constituency meetings. Okay, where you will have an opportunity to make your voice heard. Okay, next slide. Eat sustainably. What we eat contributes around a water of global greenhouse. What you can say is emission is responsible for global biodiversity loss. Yeah, moving away from meat dominated a diet towards a more plant based diet, that is can lower your impact than to environment, right? So vegetarian and vegan foods are massively arise and becoming far more common in restaurants, cafes, and supermarkets, right? So you will rarely struggle. Okay, next slide. Reduce your waste. That is important. Yeah, important. This one is. We all know about. Okay. We need to make wasting our resources unacceptable in all aspects of life. Try to waste little food as possible and compost the organic waste you can't eat. Okay, next slide. Watch what you buy. Yeah, we can all do more to be more conscious about what we buy and where we buy it from. Use your purchasing power and make sure your money is going towards positive change by supporting eco-friendly products which are less damaging to the environment. You are encouraging company, next slide, to source and produce their products in a sustainable way. Okay, next slide. Read the Living Planet report. Yeah, this is important. Next slide. Remote sensing in environmental geography. Yeah, we can use remote sensing in environmental sciences. Remote sensing helps in the systematic collection of data, surveys, and analysis of such data. Next slide. Remote sensing in geography. This data is used to understand and sustainably we use am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, Suresh.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's
Okay.
audible.
Okay. Okay. Just a minute. Sorry, it was a network issue. Just a minute. Just a minute, okay? Yeah, remote sensing techniques. Next slide. So yeah, remote sensing techniques has emerged and effective tool for systematic survey of water analysis, that is, and better management of natural resources. Okay, GPS monitoring is that, along with the monitoring of desertification and floods, drought, and landform changes. Okay, next slide. GIS consequences. Yeah, GIS helps in identifying the impact of human behavior on natural resources and leads to more effective utilization of the same. Okay, so it provides relevant information about the environmental condition, I mean the policies, okay, including conservation program, and what I can say is that maps in GIS provides the what kind of thing? Information of location and current resources. Okay, so importance of GIS in remote sensing. Yeah, remote sensing from airborne and spaceborne platforms. What is that? Provides valuable data for mapping. Okay, don't forget about this. Environmental monitoring and disaster management. Okay, so that kind of thing. The integration of GIS and remote sensing is that, and the modeling technologies also applied to field of what environmental protection. Okay, is an important tool for management and decision making, right? So we just want to say that these are we have to follow, right? इसके सिवा हम कुछ और नहीं सोच सकते, कर सकते. एट लास्ट हम एक ही लाइन फॉलो कर सकते हैं, जस्ट एक लाइन, केयर फॉर द नेचर, सेव द फ्यूचर. सो हम लोग ने भी यही लेबल दिया. काइंडली थोड़ा इंपॉर्टेंस दीजिए. एंड आई नो इट्स नॉट इजी, बट एज ए एनवायरमेंटल डे आप लोग थोड़ा ध्यान दे के सोचिएगा. जस्ट still, I mean, your words can matter, your action can matter, right? So so now I want to share some of our works. Okay, as we all know, ecosystem are vital parts of hydrological cycle, highly productive support which biodiversity, and provide a wide range of ecosystem services. It's very necessary to conserve this. Okay, according to our survey and and the government data, total wetland in Assam about 7313. However, we are taking some initiative. I meant we are trying to discover some more wetlands that is till not explored, right? Some of them are very much endangered condition that we must have to conserve them. Some susceptible wetlands are, I am highlighting, say this, Borderbam Bilmuk BS, Dighale Bill, Dinjan Gereki Bill, Khamti Gwali Bill, Maguri Bill, Misamari Bill, Sariani Bill, Satariajan Bill. So, what is the role of remote sensing? हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं? And I mean, an inventory of wetlands in an area is vital to maintaining, right, the ecological balances. So geospatial tools, when applied to wetland mapping, we are help landscapes to changes, as well as monitor the pollution and siltation level. Okay, levels. With infestation and aquaculture development, we are working. I mean, satellite remote sensing has several advantages. Okay, for monitoring wetland, for especially for large geographical area. Okay, so and also we are currently working on fragmentation of the forest. As you all know, Northeast is one of the biodiversity, biological hotspot in India. So we still have many things and works to do, which we will keep you updating from time to time. Okay. Our students have recorded a video for today's World Environment Day. They are trying to highlight some environmental issues all over Northeast India. Okay. I request one of our colleague to please run the video with our participants.
बहनों की सिग्नेचर है उसके अंदर।
என்ன சார் இப்படி இருக்க? இப்பதான் எனக்கே ஓப்பன் ஆச்சுன்னு சொல்றேன். சொன்ன உடனே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒன்னதான் நான் கூப்பிட்டேனே மீட்டிங்க்கு வா சாமி அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு உனக்கு லிங்க் அனுப்பிச்சு விட்டு எல்லாம் பண்றேன். நீ திரும்பவும் சொன்னதே நான் தான், நீ குரூப்ல போய் கேட்குற. இப்படியே இருந்தது சார், நீ முடியாததோட நான் உனக்கு படுத்திக்கிட்டே நான் அட்டன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். என்னால பேச கூட முடியல, தொண்டையெல்லாம் வலி தாங்க முடியல. அதனாலதான் நான் உனக்கு டைப் பண்ண சார், பொறுமையா ஒன்னொன்னா சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கேன். இப்படி இருக்க, அடுத்தவங்க எந்த நிலைமையில இருக்காங்க, எப்படி இருக்காங்களா நீ புரிஞ்சிக்கவே மாட்டியா? நல்ல ஃப்ரெண்டு சாமி.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Hope. Okay. Hope you guys liked the video. Now we can proceed on to our speaker of the day, Dr. Selajananda Saikia. He will be delivering his speech on recent trends to environment and the role of remote sensing, okay, in environmental management. So before he starts, I like to introduce him to the participants. Dr. Selajananda Saikia is a professor in the Department of Geography and from Rajiv Gandhi University. Okay, his field of specializations are regional development and planning. He has a lot of research publications and numbers of chapters in different book to his credit. Okay, so now may I request our resource person to please deliver his speech. So over to you, sir.
Hello, Dr. Selajananda Saikia, sir. Am I audible to you? Hello, Saikia, sir. Am I audible to you?
You are audible.
Hello. Sir, phone network coverage হৈ আছে ৰবা।
Yeah, am I audible? Sorry for the
Yes.
delay. There is network issue due to heavy rain. So be patient.
Okay, ma'am.
Actually, sir is facing a network issue. Be patient.
कुछ दिखाई दे ही नहीं रहा है।
Eleni po no, Gio ay lumigo. Ano ko? Ano? Nga man yung kasi ang katungatiwan nyo. Webinar ko.
Hello. Yeah, we have a network issue. When there is a heavy rainfall in entire Northeast. Thank you for your trying to resolve it. Please be with us.
Where there are three columns. In column 1, it is showing different types of also very important. If we want to map any part of what we have, Hello. মই আছো এতিয়া ঠিকে আছে এতিয়াতো আহিছে
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Kindly, you can proceed with your speech. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I think because of some network issue, many of the things that has been said by the previous speaker, I didn't heard much. Still, I'm trying my best. I hope we will be continuing this. Uh, so, with regards to the topic that you have selected, I'm very thankful for the organizers that they have given me this opportunity to share some of my views regarding the environment issues and the use of remote sensing in this aspect. So before we start, I think we should broadly focus on issues regarding our environment, the thing that is happening here, and which is most concerning thing for most of us during this period of time. So basically, when we talk about the environment issue in our country, I will be very specific to our area, especially India and the northeastern region. So the basic factor that we need to consider here is the destruction of environment and uh, the lack of awareness about most of the people who live here. There are two main factors that is governing this environment issue that we have landed upon. One is the rapid growth of population. Some may argue that population may not be the most concerning thing, but this is one of the factors, that rapid growth of population, and secondly, economic development is leading to a numbers of environment issues in India, and especially this is more with regards to underdeveloped area. So it is expected that by 2030, there will be major environmental issues of forest and agriculture land degradation. So these are the two main important aspects that we need to focus here. One is with regards to forest and the agricultural land degradation. So because of the pressure of population,
Hello, sir. Sorry
hello.
for interrupting.
Uh-huh.
So actually, your PPT is not seen. That's why it's not visible, sir.
Okay, it's not visible. Okay. Do I have to put my PPT now? I'm trying.
Yeah, you have to share screen. Can't share. It's not share.
No, I'm trying that. I'm trying that.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying that, but something is there. It's not coming. It's not seeing in the
Okay, sir.
video.
No problem, sir. You can proceed, sir.
Okay, okay. So if that is not the concerning thing, then I can proceed. I hope so.
Yes, sir. It's okay, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so
Hello, sir. Your voice is not coming.
Hello,
Yes, sir. It's audible now.
it's audible. Okay, so it is estimated by some reports that about 60% of the cultivated land will be suffering mostly because of soil erosion, waterlogging, and salinity problems. And the growing environment concern or climatic change, the data that we are receiving that by 2040 there will be a rise of about 1.5 degrees Celsius in the temperature. So this rise of temperature will ultimately lead to the rise of sea level in the ocean. And if you see most of the areas which are nearby the oceans, they will be at least submerged. About 40% of the area will be submerged. It is more concerning because our neighbor country like Bangladesh, they will have about 20% of land which will be submerged under the water. So there will be more concerning. It will be more concerning to us because there will be more migration from the uh, neighboring countries with regards to climatic refugee. So this over exploitation of groundwater and also the future that is going to come with regards to rise in temperature will ultimately lead to a high pressure on land for feeding the population, the ever-growing population. So there are many concerns which are very much prominent for us with regards to the environment that we will be giving to our future generation. So in this regard, uh, remote sensing is a very what you call it is a very good tool that will help us in understanding or in solving most of the problems. So if we go, it's not like any remote sensing class, but if we go by the uh, environmental concern, the destruction of environment balance. So it's part of remote sensing to accurately assess the environment. So this is one of the most prominent thing we need to focus because we know that after the what you call it evolution of technology with regards to remote sensing, which started way back in the 18th century, at the last part of an 18th century, or in the first part of 19th century, we can see that this tool has helped us in uh, getting concerned regarding this uh, environment aspect. So remote sensing help us to accurately assess, estimate, monitor, and map the resource which are available to us. So remote sensing, so today's remote sensing is far advanced than the remote sensing that was used way back in 1970s when digital satellite borne imagery complemented the aerial photography. And by the end of by the early 20th century, we can say that today we have a far-reaching effect of remote sensing in dealing with accurately assessing most of the environment concern, estimating the loss that will be there, and mapping and monitoring the resource which will be most concerning for the future generation. So in this regard, we can say that the there is a good documentary with regards to Al Gore, the Vice President of America in 90s, and Inconvenient Truth, where he has focused many things regarding the global climatic change. And most of the data that he has used and most of the estimate that he has focused was on the base of remote sensing data that were obtained during that period of time. So we know that in the initial phase, the this satellite-borne remote sensing and modern environmental data were totally governed by the government official. But now because of different policies, it has been opened, and now we are getting the fruit of this remote sensing and use of GIS. So this high resolution optical satellite data help us to monitor most of the problems with regards to population growth, like urban areas, rivers, and floodplains and flood that might occur in different area. So we can see that with regards to this remote sensing data for northern states, it's very critical for us, because if we see the growth of population and the concern of urbanization that this region is observing, some areas are totally overpopulated, and because of overpopulation, most of the urban areas, the urban jungles are created with the huge destruction of different ecosystems that prevails in the nearby environment. So high resolution optical satellites help us to understand or to help us to monitor the urban areas, the shifting of rivers that we see mostly in the uh, downhill part of the what you call northern region, mainly in the foothills and the lower courses. So remote sensing help us in understanding the changing course of rivers, the flood problems, the the concerning things which will be affected, which will be the population which might be affected because of these river or fluvial activities. Then the low and medium optical data are very important with regards to planning of this environment concern. This is with regards to regional and national level. And if we see the forest covers in entire North India, it is decreasing at a very alarming rate. So this low level optical data or satellite data are very important in order to have a bigger perspective in national level or at regional level. So with the help of this data, we can easily make out some of the concerning things for the northern states. If you see the overpopulation or the urbanization, the growth of urbanization, urban agglomeration, which is happening, we need to focus more on that aspect also. Then radar satellite data are nowadays used for the emergency observation, for emergency need. So these are basically used for the emergency situation, and most of the times nowadays been used in order to forecast many of the things that is concerning us. So if we see the nowadays environment concern with the growth of population and global warming, most of the environment activities or environmental phenomena, natural phenomena which were there, like the floods, like cyclones, like drought, the intensity of these physical phenomena are growing every year. So the we can say that in the future years, the intensity of more flood, the intensity of more cyclones, the intensity of drought area will be increasing, and the role of remote sensing in this regard is very important. So basically, with regards to use of this satellite imagery for agriculture is another important aspect. So I told you, one is population that we need to focus more, and the second aspect is with regards to agriculture. So with the growth of population, the agriculture sector is another sector which is going to be the most concerning thing that we need to focus. So agriculture application for remote sensing include basically the crop type classification, crop condition assessment, crop yield assessment or estimation, mapping of soil characteristics, mapping of soil management practice, and complementary monitoring system like farming practice that has been practiced in different parts of the state or different parts of our country. So these are very important because in recent year, most of the activities of remote sensing in our country is focused more on land use, land cover, and in hydrology or in fluvial geomorphology. But the crop type classification or with regards to agriculture, a very small proportion of work have been done. So satellite and airborne imageries are very useful in mapping this crop area, because if we do not monitor the crop type classification, the problem that we are experiencing now will be at a higher proportion. Every year we used to hear that we have bumper crop production, or every year we have surplus crop production, but you won't see there is a decline in the price of these crops. So basically, we should understand the crop condition assessment also. What is the price that a farmer used to pay in order to grow a quantity of crop? So in this regard, remote sensing could be very important, because if we see the development of agriculture in most of the developed countries, I will give the best example is Israel. Living in a very desert-like condition, their agriculture is very developed. It is only because they have used this remote sensing data in order to assess and in order to estimate the crop production, the conditions which are required, mapping of the soil, and management of soil. So these are some of the important aspects where these satellite imagery with regards to agriculture could be very important. Then, if you see another important aspect where remote sensing could be utilized, that remote sensing data could be utilized with regards to domestic forestry applications. The forest cover that we have is shrinking every year. In fact, the reserve forests are also shrinking every year. So this remote sensing data could be used in order to find the biodiversity, the level of biodiversity is there. Then what is the level of deforestation, or monitoring and management of deforestation? Then logging problems with regards to forest wood. So these are some of the important aspects that could be one of the important aspects where remote sensing data could be used for sustainable development of forest resource with regards to biodiversity monitor, deforestation, reforestation, monitoring and management of forest area, then wildlife or the flora and fauna habitat or flora and fauna's status could also be easily understood, or could be easily accessed with the help of this remote sensing data. So in geology also, this could be used because we need to, still the northern state, we need to have a structural mapping of all the areas. This is one of the important aspect that we need to keep in mind, because the study, say for example, Arunachal Pradesh, still structuring map of all the geological aspect of Arunachal Pradesh is not mapped. So in this regards, remote sensing data is very useful to extract information about the land surface structure, their composition, and what is the status of the subsurface. Okay, so rather provide an expression of surface topography and roughness. So with regards to this, especially for the what you call underdeveloped area or the remote area of northern states, we need to find out the superficial deficits or bedrock mapping with regards to remote sensing. Another aspect is lithological mapping, and mineral exploration is another important thing, because in Northeast India we know that there are still resources which are not being explored till now. So remote sensing in this regard for Northeast India could be very important. Now, another important aspect where remote sensing data could be utilized, especially for the northern states or for India, is with regards to the hydrology. So wetland mapping and monitoring is very important because we know that wetlands are the most diverse, rich area with regards to the what you call it, the level or the amount of different species that prevails in the environment. So wetland mapping and monitoring is very important, and which could be easily done with regards to the remote sensing data that we could gather. Then other aspects that we need to find out with regards to this hydrology or use of remote sensing is the wetland mapping and monitoring, soil moisture estimation, then what you call it, river and lake monitoring, then flood mapping and monitoring, because we know that because of siltation and because of overexplosion of population, these wetlands are being intruded by population, by people, and the amount of wetland that we had in northern states, especially the high altitude wetlands and the wetlands that we have in the plain areas, these are one of the most important and concerning thing, because if these wetlands are destroyed or they are disturbed, then the hydrological cycle that we had, the system where the earth used to have, these wetlands used to be the reservoir where the water or the environment could be stated to have a very live in a very sustainable way. This, if we destroy this wetland or the lakes or the what do you call it, uh, high altitude or low altitude wetlands, then what will happen? It will directly or indirectly affect most of the area which are nearby. So we can see most of the most of the evidence by the recent data that surfaced with regards to loss of this wetland in our country, and because of which in different areas we have different problems with regards to water logging. So along with this, this remote sensing data, we can say that it could be used for most of the things that is concerned to the environment and for the population to a large aspect. So environment application with regards to water resource is very important because mapping of surface water bodies are very important. Water quality monitoring is very important, and flood mapping. This is specific to our area, northern area. Then with regards to geology, I have already spoken about geological aspect. Now, there are other three important points that we need to focus with regards to the environment application of remote sensing. That is biodiversity and wetland assessment. I already spoke about how we can study about this biodiversity with regards to remote sensing, and wetland is another important aspect. Then the concerning thing, or one of the most emerging aspects with regards to remote sensing, is now with regards to carbon stock and sink. So this is very important aspect, a new aspect that has been emerging, that is emerging here. So we need to focus more on the forest area in order to understand the carbon stock that we have, and also different aspect with regards to the use or with regards to increase or decrease in the carbon stock in the forest area in the northern region. Because if by the rate of degradation of our environment or forest area, especially the forest area, then most of the time the carbon level of this region could which used to be a very important aspect, or which used to be the most, what do you call it? We were very rich with regards to forest diversity or forest area. We may lose it because the alarming rate by which the forest area of Northeastern is declining is of a very high concern. So we can say that the first aerial photography, which was taken by a French geographer, or not geographer, basically he was a balloonist, Nadir. The technology has emerged to a different level. So the application of remote sensing imagery in many areas of scientific, economic, and social activities has grown propulsively to a very high extent. So we need to focus more of using this satellite imagery for economy and social activity, because this economy and social activity ultimately affects the environment. So only we need not have to focus only on one aspect of environment. We need to focus on the economic aspect, what people are doing, how the economic aspect will change the the future course of our action, and how social activity in different areas will transform our future generation and will totally destroy or devastate our environment. So in the brief, we can say that remote sensing data today is very important, not only with regards to agriculture, not only with regards to scientific use or scientific studies, but also with regards to economic and social aspects. So I will leave with this because I think by 2 I have another program. So I have to attend one lecture here in our university also. So please excuse me for that. I was waiting from 11 a.m. but because of the different technical issue, it was not possible for me to now continue with all these aspects. So maybe if someday another program is being organized, I will be very happy to talk more about the use of remote sensing and what are the data that we use in remote sensing, or in detail we can talk about it. So thank you, organizer, for inviting me, and thanks all for your patience. I hope everyone is fine, and in this pandemic time, please take care of yourself. And with this, I think I will conclude myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for delivering such a beautiful speech and joining us today within a very short notice. And sorry from our side for the technical error and for the delay of the webinar. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Now, I would like to request my colleague and co-founder of Duration, Kaushik Khargoria, to announce the winner of our article competition and photography competition, and to deliver vote of thanks. Kaushik?
Yes, Indra, am I audible to you?
Yes, you can proceed.
Okay. So finally, we are in concluding part. Before concluding, I would like to announce the winners of our article and photography competition organized by a group of Duration. It's not easy to select the best one because as all the participants done some remarkable jobs. So finally, So for article competition, so in research and professional category of article competition, best article goes to COVID-19 pandemic and its impact to environment by Anupam Setia. In student category, best article goes to climate change and its major impact, written by Rajni Setia. We have a special mention award as well, and this goes to Fervid Issues of Forest Fires by Parishmita Gogoi in photography competition. Best photography award goes to Ashinta Mugdha Bokkal for Green is not only a color, it's life. So here the final part of our webinar. I'm going to conclude it. In this, I would really like to convey my gratitude toward our speakers that he would manage the time in very short duration and provides and insight some beautiful knowledge to our participants. Dr. Solejananda Saikia sir for beautifully providing us very relevant knowledge on the role of remote sensing in environmental management. I would also like to thank our colleague, Sureshika Gogoi. She beautifully handled this webinar and made it successful. And also our our founder of Duration, Santino Hazarika. She tried to manage some quality time to make this webinar successful one. At last, I would like to thank all the technical group of our organization, Duration, and all our faculty and staff, and also the participants for their patience, as we have faced so much technical errors today. So we will try to resolve it in our further sessions. So there's an important note for our participants. Now we will share a feedback form in order to get these certificates in the respective WhatsApp groups. So kindly fill up all the feedback form, and after that, within 10 to 15 days, all the e-certificates issued to all the participants who have completed or who have done the feedback form through mail or other WhatsApp. Thank you. Thank you once again.